Netflix is testing a crackdown on password sharing. So after years of letting people get away with not paying for their accounts, Netflix basically got, bigger and bigger and bigger. And then once they stopped growing so much, they went, how do we squeeze as much money as possible out of the people that watch our stuff? And so we've talked about this before. The way they got big was by saying, we just want people to watch our stuff. We don't care if you share with stuff outside your household, blah, blah, blah. And now they're going, no, we're going to try to squeeze every dollar we can out of you. And I wouldn't be surprised if down the road there's Netflix and then Netflix Premium, where their best stuff is behind a higher paywall or something of that nature. Yeah. Yeah. It's just interesting because you see it a lot in businesses. What they do to grow is be amazing and then just become
crappy,
shitty.
I don't think I have to convince you of this, but it is interesting that there's still people that think that unbridled capitalism is great. And it's like so obvious that this is what companies do is in order to get big, they behave in a certain way. And this isn't Netflix, but they attempt to gain monopoly power. Netflix certainly attempted, but was unable to. But let's assume that they do. And upon achieving monopoly power, they start to suck and crowd out every applicant and purchase and buy them immediately.
Well, luckily, if monopoly laws are enforced, someone will, it's just the circle of life. Now someone will come in who's focused on user experience.
Yeah.
And Netflix is focused on dollar per user. And the guy who's focused on user experience is going to steal market share from Netflix. And so then there'll be this is the only reason Amazon's the biggest company in the world is because they just kept focusing on user experience the whole time. So I do think it's the circle of life where Netflix will now see cash flow go up for a couple of years and then get beaten by someone who's more focused on...
Oh, Amazon could have gone, okay, we've got the market now. Let's gouge them on shipping. And instead they're like, let's do shipping for free. You know what I mean?
How about 2-hour shipping?
Yeah. And they're doing things that no one is immediately pressuring them to do. Like no one's being like, hey, you guys got to get it there in 2 hours.
Yeah.
Do you really have to?
Next day is unacceptable.
Yeah, next day is unacceptable. The market's is pressuring you to do this sort of thing. Yeah, versus it's like, when was the last time Netflix made an interesting new tentpole series?
Well, this is why I think Netflix,
The Witcher.
Netflix will have to pivot or they're on their way out. That's what I see.
I agree. Yeah. I'm not a business expert, but I've just looking at their catalog of now reality TV shows, which again, like they're good for a period of time and when you're really bored, but nobody's going to stick with your platform for reality TV. They stick with it for Game of Thrones, Stranger Things that show that they have to see the next season of.
Well, so Disney Plus is a big company, but they're new to the streaming world. So they're still in the seduce everyone phase.
Yeah.
Disney has content coming out every weekend for 2021. They're just going, okay, we're going to make new original stuff with Marvel characters that we know people love, and we'll make it so they can't cancel. How are we going to do that? We're not going to lock them into a contract. We're going to make sure that every single weekend something new is coming out. And I'm sure at some point they'll switch into trying to make more dollars per user instead of getting new users, but they're just in that phase right now. It's just interesting to watch it's just the business cycle we have to be aware of. And it's just interesting to see because you see it over and over again.
You got to do it. I mean, this is the other thing. Again, to the degree, the first question with everything is, what is your goal? If your goal is to have a successful business, I'm not even sure that that's my goal anymore. So let's, assuming that
our goal has always been lifestyle, actually.
Yes.
People get confused by that when they're, oh, you guys could why don't you just do this? Sounds like be very time consuming.
But assuming that it's a good reminder, assuming that we do care and there's a happy medium of long-term successful business lifestyle, I think of the difference between Marvel and DC, right? Which is just like, oh, DC, Justice League, Batman, Superman, like put them together and squeeze Wonder Woman in there. And then let's get the Flash in there as well. Versus what they did meticulously just over the course of 10 years, start with one good movie, make another good movie. It's not until 5 or 6 movies in, they're thinking now 5 more years down the line when Thanos is going to show up. They tease him in Guardians of the Galaxy 1, right? And then build these stones into the story. And
well, this is the big mistake that I see from a lot of viewers and listeners who talk about starting a business, and they talk about, oh, I want to be a vlogger because it looks like fun. It's like, okay, think of the user. Like, why would someone want to watch your vlog? What are you doing that's so uniquely special or different? How are you adding value? But just that's not the mindset that a lot of people have when they start a business. It's not value oriented to other people.
Well, yeah, it doesn't have to be, right? There's a happy medium between like, what do I want to do all the time of my own accord? And where does that match up with things that other people find valuable, right? But yeah, no, I agree. Oh, we mentioned that we have this marketing step-by-step thing. And I think we mentioned it last week. If you are interested in business, you and I will eventually work this out. We need to make a one-stop page, which is like, so you want to make a business.
Yeah.
Start here, 4-hour work week. Here's, 3 sentences about it. Then go here, marketing step-by-step. Then go here, all in. It's going to be, if you purchase everything, it'll be like $120. But quite frankly, it starts with a $9 book. And if you can't finish that, don't waste your time. This is the other thing I tell people. Like, so many people ask me, what should I do? What should I do? I say, go read the 4-hour work week. And really, that's just a test. Because if you won't buy it, open it, and finish it,
you're never going to start a business.
If you never come back to me for round 2, then you're done. But what's interesting is that people who come back for, I read it, very high success rate at that point. It like jumps to like 30% after it was at like 0.1% before of people who mention, I'd like to have a business. And then if you go through marketing step by step and you stick with it for 2 years, you're at like 75% success.
Oh, yeah.
You've got your own business at this point. It is fascinating how steep those drop-off curves are, man. Fucking wild.
I got one more thing and then we'll go to comments, audience questions.
Cool.
You see Elon Musk selling a song about NFTs as an NFT?
No.
You didn't see this?
No.
Elon Musk released a song. It's about NFTs. The lyrics, it's literally just says NFTs for a while to electronic music, but then the lyric is NFT for your vanity. Computers never sleep. It's verified. It's guaranteed. And he's selling it as an NFT. And I thought that
Is he singing it?
No, he just produces music. You didn't know this? He made a Harambe rap in 2019.
I had no idea.
What? Come on. This dude's he's a music producer.
I had no idea. You only know this because you did a video.
Yeah, that's true.
You learned this 2 weeks. You learned this 2 weeks
Come on,
ago.
you don't know this? I've known this for days. But I think it's interesting. It's NFT for your vanity. Seems like Elon Musk is not a fan. I would say he actually probably is a fan of NFT technology, but is not a fan of the tulip mania.
He gets it. He's trolling.
Yes.
He's 100%.
Yeah. So I just thought that was interesting. Elon's coming out. He's kind of said what I think, which is obviously why I like it, because there's confirmation bias, which is this is a useful technology, but we're in a craze right now and it's a bubble. And I just think it's a funny way for him to play it out by releasing an NFT about NFTs where the lyric is this NFTs for your vanity. I was like, yeah, well done, Elon.
Yeah, I generally don't like NFTs, but that tongue-in-cheek, this is dumb, gets a thumbs up from me.
No, it's a good technology. It's great technology.
And by the way, sorry, I said I don't like NFTs. I don't like the tulip mania NFTs. Everything is valuable. I think it's got useful applications which will persist into the future.
Yeah, and a lot of people will lose money right now because they'll just get caught up in the craze. Yep. It's funny. It's kind of like Bitcoin. There's people who got in at 500 and then just dollar cost averaged every year they bought as Bitcoin went up a little bit. And then there's people that bought Bitcoin at 18,000 and then sold it at 6,000 and now it's at 60,000. And I think that's what's happening with NFTs. So there's a lot of people that aren't in it for conviction about the technology and aren't nuanced about, okay, where is this actually a useful application of the technology? And they're the people buying Bitcoin at 18 grand that are going to sell it at 6 grand.
Yeah.
Basically. That's all I see. And then someone is going to buy it 18 grand and hold till 60. But that's a multi-year process. And what I've learned from investing is you need conviction to hold that long, especially when something falls by 2/3. And when you get in without much research, when you just buy in because you're hearing about it from your friends or from the news, you don't have the stomach for that. So as soon as it drops, you just sell.
I have a question. Where does real estate fall into this? Because I was looking, because we talked about we live in an area that it's fine, but it's sort of deteriorated over the last little while. And I was looking at houses in California, and they're ridiculously expensive.
Well, I think I told you, my friend said not to buy any real estate until at least the middle of this year. He said he thinks we're in a bubble because what happened was people were getting government money so they could pay their mortgage, even if they couldn't afford their house necessarily. But the buying demand was still there because some businesses that are online businesses did well. And so, because I was looking at, maybe we should buy a place. We were thinking about moving to a different place outside of California where real estate's cheaper. I was like, maybe I'll just buy instead of rent. He's just one guy, but he said I wouldn't do that right now. I would just wait. And here's the thing. If you're not in a massive rush, there will be a crash and you'll know that it's crashing. You won't have to ask.
Crash? I don't understand this stuff. They do?
Yeah. There was a horrific crash in like 2009.
Got it. And so people were underwater on their things.
You got houses for cheap. in 2009, 2010.
Well, this is the other thought is like, yeah, how does one value a home? It's like, well, I get to live here, which is nice, and I'm not buying it as a rental property. I don't know. We can talk more offline because I'm going to just sound stupid in my questions. Hope that you guys enjoyed that clip. If you want to see more like this and have us do more podcasts, we are 100% funded by our generous patrons. And if you'd like to contribute, there's a link in the description, and we'll have one pop up on the screen right here so that we can do more podcasts where we have fun conversations and hopefully some deep ones like this. Either way, hope that you enjoyed the video, and I will see you in the next one.